tired of wires getting caught in your gym equipment, spending a little bit too much time untangling these earphones more than your actual workout itself? Well, if that's the case, I think you should take a look at the Axgio Sprint earphones, which is a $39.99 Bluetooth earphone that I think is a phenomenal value at its price. Now, before we start this review, I want to give a big shout out to Michael for sending these Sprint earphones out for review. I really appreciate it. And I'm also going to put a link in the description below to my full written review over on HeadFi, which gives you a more in-depth, more detailed analysis of this earphone in general, or a more detailed review. And I'm also going to put links to where you can purchase them, find out more information about these Sprint earphones and where you can get them and such. So I hope to see you guys there. In terms of build quality, the Axgio Sprint earphones are fairly nicely built for about a $39 to about $50 earphone on Amazon right now. The earphone body is made out of entirely plastic. However, the plastic does not feel cheap or brittle in any sense. And the earphones also come with a memory wire, which is a little bit rigid, a little bit stiff, but it does retain its shape very well. So once you mold the ear guides, you can just basically forget about it and slip these in right before your workout. The cable itself is also very nicely made. It's not too thick, it's not thin, and it doesn't add any extra bulk or weight to the overall package. The buttons here is also very good with tactile feedback, and this earphone is IPX4 water resistant, so this is perfect for those really high intensity workouts, those marathons, those really grueling drills. So this earphone is definitely intended for sports purposes, and I think that in terms of build quality, they're well built for that application. In terms of comfort, the earpieces are a little bit on the larger side, so they fit very easily into your ear and slips in just effortlessly. So you can mold this memory wire to as many times as you want, and it stays and holds its shape very well. And this is perfect, especially if you're a workout junkie, because the last thing you really want to do is to go to the gym and fuss around with your earphones every few minutes. So these are just a very easy and a very seamless fit. In terms of isolation, the Sprint earphones are a completely sealed design, but they do block out a lot of external noises, which is a really good thing if you just want to focus on your workout, focus on your music, which makes these earphones very good, especially even for commuting purposes as well. However, I think if you're going to be using these, let's say on your morning run or somewhere where you're going to be in a really high traffic area, because they do block out a lot of noise and you just have to keep your eyes peeled. Going into this review, I was actually very skeptical about the Axgio Sprints because they're a pair of Bluetooth earphones in general, and they're also sports earphones, which makes me think that it has more of a bassy kind of sound signature, and it's going to be very overblown and bloated. However, the Sprints are a very refreshing and kind of like a breath of fresh air in this price bracket, especially because they're fairly balanced overall. They have a little bit of a boost in the bass and a little bit of a boost in the treble, just to keep things dynamic and interesting. Starting from the bass here, is a little bit emphasized in the mid bass, so it gives it a little good sense of punch, a good sense of fullness, a good sense of rhythm. There is a little bit of a drop off in the sub bass, in the very lowest bass, but otherwise the extension into the bass is really good. The bass here is actually fairly tight. It's not absolutely tight, but it's fairly tight, especially given its price, which I was expecting to be very loose and bloated. Going into the mid-range here, sounds very natural. Male vocals have a good sense of richness and good sense of body without ever sounding overly forward or overly dominant. Female vocals, on the other hand, is a little bit takes a little bit of a step back, not that much, but it does this in such a way that it still has a good sense of presence and character in their voice, but without sounding strident or sharp or piercing. Going into the treble here has a little bit of a boost in the lower treble, which gives it a good sense of crispness, a good sense of energy, which is I think a very important aspect of being a gym earphone overall, because you want to keep that energy and that blood, keep the heart rate going, which makes this an exciting enough listen without going too far in that region to sounding harsh or kind of grating to your ears. The treble here has decent extension overall, but it's missing a little bit up top just to prevent it from sounding like a very open sounding earphone overall. But all that said and done, this is a pair of $39 earphones, and for its price, this is an absolute fantastic value. So these Axgio Sprints have definitely taken me by surprise. In conclusion, the Axgio Sprint earphones are a phenomenal value at $39.99 because they're a pair of Bluetooth earphones, and we all know how convenient Bluetooth is. You don't have to be tethered to your device. You don't have to fuss around with wires before your workout or before taking them out of your pocket. And the fact that they're also sweat resistant makes them a fantastic and a great feature, especially if you're a gym junkie. And they also have a sound signature that works well not just in the gym, but for casual music listening as well. It's well balanced, but it's still punchy and dynamic enough to be used in the gym, but not so overblown and bloated that you can't use them anywhere else. So highly recommend these Axgio Sprint earphones. My favorite Bluetooth earphones, especially when I'm in the gym. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you liked it, definitely hit the like and subscribe button. If you have any questions about these Axgio Sprint, leave it in the comments below. And definitely share with your friends. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video.